Hello there guys, and welcome back to the Kuwait Pilot channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City. I want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream. We have today Molas, Boeing Corp Mike from Logan, New Jersey. Welcome aboard. Burger Pops, Lemon Threads, perfect combination. Rand Cooley, my very good friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here after a long time. Altitude X, welcome aboard. In Fame, welcome. And our friend with, I can't read the characters there, but welcome aboard, Julian Lockwood from Laminar Research. Welcome aboard. It's been a while, my friend. How are you doing? I hope you are well. And thank you very much for stopping by, Julian. A long-time friend of the channel and a personal good friend of mine and a great part of the Laminar Research team. Welcome aboard, Julian. We have Tis with us. Lewis, welcome aboard. The Gigliotti, welcome aboard. Esset, welcome. Good evening to you. Gold, welcome aboard. And we have Orso, Sander, and Brian with us this evening. We are currently, ladies and gents, situated at Seattle Tacoma International Airport in Washington State. A beautiful state, one of my favorites in the United States, and today we are going to be flying the 777 Delta 674 service from Seattle to San Francisco based on popular demand. All right, so we are using, by the way, today Drishal Max Light Mod here. This is what you see here, and this is what makes X-Plane looks extra beautiful, extra immersive, and extra realistic. All right, so let's hop into the cockpit of the beautiful 777 by Flight Factor, and we're going to start setting things up for our flight today. You can also see the lights inside the cockpit look very realistic and very immersive with the night mod by Drishal. I will be making a video showing you the installation, all that good stuff, in a later video, probably this week. Okay, the first thing we are going to do, as we normally do, is take a look at our flight plan. I'm not sure why there is a sound, that kind of a strange sound. All right, let me take you over. We don't need that. We need this. And we're going to take a look here at our flight plan. We are departing runway 34 right today from Seattle, and we are going to be cruising at 39,000 feet. We are departing through the Harrow B6 departure through the air transition, heading over to San Francisco and arriving. It looks like we have tailwind at San Francisco. Hopefully it subsides. 28 left is our arrival runway. Should be a really nice approach into San Francisco. I love arriving into runways 28 left and 28 right. It makes for a very nice approach into San Francisco. All right, so with that, we are going to head over to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on the battery switch on, and we're going to turn on the external power, and we're going to turn on the utilities here, and we'll turn on all the switches that has off on them. That's the kind of the philosophy with the 777. We're going to come over here and arm the emergency lights. Window heat can go on. We'll leave the hydraulics for the time being. We'll leave the non-smoking on auto, seatbelt signs on auto. We'll leave those alone. We'll turn on the nav lights. We'll leave everything here fine. We'll come up here and we're going to test the APU and cargo fire test. Everything here is good. We're going to turn on the recirc fans, and let's see, we can turn on the packs here. Trim air can go on. We'll turn on these switches here, and we'll leave everything here on auto. All right, perfect. So everything here is set. And look at this beautiful cockpit of the 777 by Flight Factor. This is the latest version available from Flight Factor of the aircraft. And of course, it's important to note that this aircraft is still in beta. If the sim sounds are too loud for you guys, overpowering my voice, let me know. I can bring them down at any time. All right, let's see here. Always a pleasure, my friend. Loving the videos. Thank you very much, Julian. I really appreciate it, my friend. I hope to see you again. It was really my personal pleasure and honor to have met you at FS Expo 2023. Okay, so we are waiting for the aircraft to perform its initial test. In the meantime, we can come here and test the oxygen. And we'll test it on the first officer's side. I love the displays here and the realism that Flight Factor has brought into the their 777 version 2. All right, all is good here. We can also, by the way, test the oxygen there in the back. All right, all is good here. And we are ready now to start setting up the FMS or the FMC. I'm going to kind of pop this out so you guys can follow along, and we can take a look here. We can bring, we'll worry about the radios in a little bit. Let's come to the FMC here and let's check the data. So we have the nav data 25010 that is active from 23rd until February 20th, 25. So we are current. We're going to go to the position in it. We are currently situated at Seattle, Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha, and we are going to put that there and select the GPS position. Next, we're going to go to the route. Perfect. Navigraph charts, the best available chart program and flight planning tool for flight sim. All right, so we are departing 3-4 rides through the Harab 6 through the air. So we're going to first put Kilo Sierra in the origin airport, and the destination is San Francisco. All right, we are Delta 673, so Delta 673. And next we're going to go to the departure and select the Harab 6 departure through the area of transition and runway 34 right. Right, that's 34 right. And then next we're going to go to the route. We're going to go to the next page and let's take a quick look here at our flight plan. All right. Hello, Pip. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Kova FNR, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Sky Check, welcome aboard, my friend. And we have also our friend Incandescent 510 from South Africa. Welcome. All right, all right, so we are going to, from Iraq, we're going to take Airway Quebec 1 and exit at Etchy. So Quebec 1. And exit at Etchy. And then it's going to, I believe it's going to be at the, all right, so direct Melbourne, and then it's the arrival into San Francisco. All right. Melbourne. And then it's the arrival. So we're going to here select the arrival through the B-Dega 4, and it's the Melbourne transition, the ILS runway 28 left, ILS 28 left, and let's see which one of these. All right, so to figure out your transition, we need to go to our charts. We're going to go to the approach, and let's see, runway 28 left. And if we look here, there is the Archie, there is Faith. So we could take either one of these into the arrival. I will favor, as we are going to be coming in this direction, so I'm going to favor the Archie transition. So let's go ahead and select the Archie transition. And then routes, activate, execute. All right. So now we are going to put this away. Let's put this away and let me come over here and set things up here in terms of our weight and balance. So first we're going to come to, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go to external services. We're going to select Navigraph, and then we're going to get the data from SimBrief. It's processing the information. Now we've got the information. Let's go back. Let's go back one more time. And next we're going to go to airplane, weight and balance, filled from SimBrief. We have everything here. Next we're going to go to the CG summary, and we're going to optimize the CG. Next we're going to go to the loading page. From the loading page, we're going to select request, we'll do simultaneous full load. All right, now we have the aircraft loaded, and we have the load sheet here. We're going to click once over here, and one more time so that we have it in this orientation. All right, perfect. So we have everything set up here. And let's go to our flight plan here real quick. All right, let me bring up the radios here. We're going to need those in a little bit. So let's go to cabin in and call the purser.
Hi, this is the captain. Hope you are all doing well today.
Good day, sir.
All right, so we've got these guys here. Let's end the call here and let's go to cabin crew, beg your pardon, ground crew. Let's turn on our radios.
Good day.
Ground here.
All right, we have the ground as well. Excellent. And we'll just leave it now. We can come back and complete the setup here on the FMC. So the route data is done. Let's go here. All right, so we're going to go to perf. And actually, let me just very quickly verify we don't have any discontinuities here. Vectors to final. That's okay. All right, so no discontinuities here. We're good to go. Let's go to RTE. Perf int is next. All right, so we need the zero fuel weight, and the zero fuel weight is 381.8. 381.8, and that's there. We need the zero. We need the final reserve. So we're going to go back to our SimBrief flight plan, and we're going to add the alternate with the final reserve. So about 10 tons of fuel. So we're going to add that there, 10. Cruise altitude is flight level 390, and the cost index is 41. All right, 41 is set. Excellent. And thrust limit, we're going to derate our takeoff, 96.9 and 1, and then takeoff is the final step. We're going to select flaps 5, and we have the speed set here, 121, 130, and 141 for V2. All right, let's set that to 141. 141 V2, and we need the CG, and the CG is, if we look at the load sheet, the CG is 33.7, so we'll round that to 34. 34, and we'll add it here, and that gives us a trim of 3 units. Perfect. All is set here. We'll put this back on the legs page, and we're going to set the auto brakes to rejected takeoff. We'll turn on our flight directors, and we'll wait for the alignment to complete. All right. Let's do the pre-flight check.
Pre-flight checklist, please.
Oxygen tested 100%.
Tested 100%.
Flight instruments
Set.
checklist complete.
All right, so we have now everything tested here, and we are checked. Let's turn on the VOR switches here, and next we're going to get the altimeter. So let's come over here to the airport. Let's select the weather, and the altimeter is 3004. All right, 3004. And we'll set it on the first officer side as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed my recent video on the performance boost for X-Plane 12. I've tried as much as possible to include all the settings that I use. Right, 30.4, and we're going to set the altitude to 39,000 feet. All right, 39,000 is set. Everything is good here, and we are just waiting for the final alignment to complete. So we'll wait on that. Let's go ahead and start the APU. Right, APU is starting. Excellent. Hello, Kabir. Good evening to you, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. Hello, Sortie Aviation. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Renan de Oliveira. Welcome aboard, and thank you for the support. Hello, Parsa. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Thank you very much, guys. All right. So if we look at the alignment, yeah, it'll take a little bit of time. So I've set this to realistic, so it really takes some time to get it done. All right, so APU gen is on, and now we can turn on the, let's see, APU bleed. Yeah, APU is now taken over. We'll wait for this to go off. When it says available, it means that the APU has right there. Now you know that the APU has kicked in and we no longer need the external power. Right, so we'll turn off the external power here, and we're going to come over to the menu, and we're going to go to the airplane, ground services, and now we can start removing the, let's see, are we still connected to ground? All right, we are still connected.
How can I help you?
All right.
I think you need to establish contact first. I think you need to establish contact.
We have established contact. All right, let's remove these. All right, let's see.
Listening?
Please disconnect the left air conditioner.
Sure I can. Listening?
Please disconnect the right air conditioning.
Sure.
All right, well, let us wait for the... All right, so the air conditioning units are now disconnected. And let's go ahead and click here. That will automatically disconnect the GPUs.
Gates.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Please disconnect the shocks.
Sure I can.
All right. So we are just waiting now for the adheres to align. If we go to the flight plan, yeah, we can see the flight plan. So that's our departure from 34 right. And we can step through here. Let's take a look at our flight plan. Everything here looking good. This is the arrival, and we're just going to take the Archie transition and make the turn towards runway 28 left. It's going to be a really, really nice approach. Time to align about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. All right, so we're going to come back here, set this back to map, and let's see, everything else is set. Let's set this to 340, the runway heading. Right, 340 is set, and let's go ahead and have the cabin crew. So let's go to the directory here, cabin in, and let's go to the purser, and here, let's go ahead and say doors. Next page, close all doors.
I would like all doors to be closed now.
All right, if we take a look here at the outside, look at how beautiful this aircraft is modeled by Flight Factor. And the purser, of course, or the cabin crew are going to close the doors, the aircraft doors. The cargo doors will need to be closed by the ground crew. So we're going to come back here to the directory, and we're going to go back to the ground crew, cabin in, then ground crew, and then we're going to go to the
How can I help
doors,
you?
and we're going to close the forward door and close
Okay.
the aft door. All right.
How can I help you?
All right, so these are closed. Let's
We
close.
need the hatch closed.
Yes, sir.
Right, about 40 seconds for alignment, folks, and we are going to be pushing back in just a little bit. Welcome, Carl Childers. And we have also Dougal McTavish. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome, guys. All right, let's do the before start check. So we're going to go to the checklist here.
Before start.
Flight deck door. Lock. MCP.
Set.
Takeoff speeds.
Set.
CDU pre-flight. Completed.
Completed.
Trim.
Set.
Taxi and takeoff briefing. Completed.
Completed.
Beacon. On.
All right, so before we turn on the beacon, just for fun, let's come back here to the menu. Let's go to airplane, captain commands, and let's read the pre-flight briefing.
It is time for the departure briefing. Are you ready on your side?
Ready, sir.
The pre-flight is done and we are ready. All instruments are set, the FMS is programmed and the MCP is set.
I will go through my list. Please follow and confirm. The departure airfield is
Seattle Tacoma International.
on the SID. We will depart with flaps 5 following our standard procedure.
I do affirm and so it is set in the FMS.
Please check and confirm that the departure runway from sir.
34, right.
The cruise altitude for today will be.
Flight level 390.
Let us now confirm the speeds.
All right, so the reason I just wanted to play this is just again to show you guys how immersive this aircraft is and the depth of simulation that has been done. I really like the cabin interphone and how it works, and you have to actually go to the right channel in order to speak to the ground crew versus the cabin. You can also, by the way, you can come to the passenger PA call here, and you can do the captain welcome message as well.
Above 80 knots, we will only abort for a serious issue. Engine fire or loss of directional control.
Right, let's go and turn on our beacon lights.
We will abort the takeoff, apply maximum braking and stay on the runway. In case of an issue above V1, we will continue with single engine departure procedure. I will handle the controls and you will help me with the procedures. Any questions?
Thank you. Clear. On. Checklist complete.
All right, so the checklist is complete, ladies and gents, and we are now ready for pushback. The doors are closed. Let's go ahead and ask the cabin crew to arm the doors. So we're going to go back to the cabin in, and we're going to select here purser, and we're going to go doors automatic.
Doors to automatic.
Affirmative. All doors armed.
All right, so now you can see that it shows here doors automatic, and now we are ready for pushback. Okay, everything's good here. All the ground equipment is clear, and we're going to come here now and go back and select pushback and start the push.
We are ready for pushback.
Please set the brakes.
Park brake set.
All right. And now we'll have the pleasure of driving the pushback truck to push back the aircraft from its current position. We are going to push the tail, the nose to the right, tail to the left for our departure today. Why isn't the pushback truck coming? Let's see here. There we go. For some reason, it did not put us in the... All right, so here we go. All right. So if I look back, where is the... All right, so that's where we are relative to the aircraft. Okay. So we're going to go drive through over there to be able to... All right. Yeah, the ground equipment isn't really put in the right position here, but that's all right. Let's see here. There is our aircraft. Right, let me change the view here. All right, that's much better. Don't want to damage the nose gear, so let's come back a little bit here and adjust the pushback truck position. There we go. All right.
Release brakes.
Hot brake release.
All right.
Pushing back.
All right. Let's go in and push back the aircraft now. I love this feature in the 777. I think it's really fun. Look at the details, guys, of the nose gear. It looks just gorgeous. Absolutely brilliant work by Flight Factor on this aircraft. Right, here we go. Yeah, I've got to adore the work by Flight Factor on this aircraft. We're going to position the aircraft on taxiway Mike. That's all right. We'll just position the aircraft here. All right, perfect.
Set parking brake, please.
Parking brake set.
Right, parking brake is set.
Thank you. See you at the hand signals.
And let's drive the pushback truck away. Isn't that cool? All right, there we go.
Thank you very much.
Sit up for it, sir. We are done with the pushback.
I would like to see the pin, please.
All equipment removed. Here is the pin.
Much appreciated.
See you next time.
All right, so we are done with the pushback, and we can say wave off here.
I see it. Wave off.
Okay, waving him off.
All right, so now the pushback is complete, and we are ready to go. Do you have to use the pushback or other options available? Other options are available, Olin. If you don't want to use the pushback truck, you can skip that part and just push back without the pushback truck. Just have it as an automated pushback. That's something definitely you can do. All right, let's go ahead and start our engines now. We are going to come here and start. We're going to start with the right engine first. And we are, by the way, very close to runway 34 right. It's right over there. Look at those engines. Beautiful sounds as well. The sound set is developed by COSP, the same guy that developed the COSP sound pack for the tallest Airbus, and they are just amazing. All right, let's head over back to cockpit here and turn on the fuel for the right engine. And the engine is now coming up. Hello there, we have Michelle from, I suppose you're from Saudi Arabia. And yes, the 777 is more realistic than the PMDG 777 in my view. It's got a lot more systems. It's got a lot. It's far more immersive in my view. All right, have the engine starting now. Is the EEG modeled? I don't know what that is, vSky Check. The weather you see is the same as real world in Seattle right now, not a cloud in the sky. Thanks for confirming that, Rand. We are using ActiveSky XP today for the weather, so I'm very glad that it's giving us the right weather today. All right, here we go. Start for in the left engine. And the left engine is now coming up. For some reason, I noticed that the global traffic is going to the opposite side, but I know that the active runway is runway 34, which is this runway here we're going to be taxiing to. So I really am not sure why global traffic is sending traffic in the opposite direction. All right, let's go ahead and start the left engine here. Fuel is coming up. We're going to put the terrain, actually we'll put the weather on the captain's side and the terrain on the first officer's side. There we go. Terrain is set. Excellent. And now we have the left engine starting up. Listen to those sounds, guys. Very, very nice indeed. Very immersive sounds. The fuel safety system is not to put the fuel before 25 and 2. That minimizes the risk of what? Oh, gotcha. Thanks for that. Appreciate it, vSky Check. Which would you recommend first, the Fila 742 Classic or the Flight Factor 777? Hello, Alex. Welcome aboard. Well, that's a really tough question because it really depends on your preference. We have a cabin call here, let's say. What do they want?
How can I help you?
Sir, the cabin is secure and safety briefing has been completed.
All right, thank you very much. Clear the queue. And we can go... Do we still have the ground crew? We still have the ground crew. All right, so we're just going to end the call with the ground crew. And we are now ready for the after start check. Let me go ahead and turn off the APU. And let's come over here and we're going to put the NTIs on auto. And taxi lights are on. And we are LNAV and VNAV. We're going to turn on the auto throttles. And we are pretty much now ready to go. Okay.
Before taxi checklist, please.
Recall. Check.
Checked.
Flight controls. Check.
Checked.
Ground equipment. Cleared.
Cleared.
Checklist complete.
All right, so the checklist is complete. And let's go and set our flaps 5 for takeoff. All right, flaps 5 is set. How have you been, Alex? I hope you are well, my friend. The Cow Pilot, where are you heading? San Francisco. Hello, HD Sim, welcome aboard. Q8 can do a flight with the Mad Dog XMD80 for MS 2024. It's been updated. Perfect. I will do that, Boeing Corp Mike. No worries. All right. So all is good here. Flaps are 5. Before I forget, I'm going to set the TCAS to TARA. So now everything is set here, guys. We are ready to go. Okay. Let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Takeoff checklist.
Checklist complete.
All right, and the checklist is complete, and we can now taxi to the runway for departure. Parking brake released. Doors automatic, brakes to RTO, and we're good to go. There isn't a... Oh, I guess there was a turn there on Mike to Bravo, but we'll just go ahead and take Bravo here. Look at this wing view, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. The wing flex is, by the way, done very, very well on this aircraft as well. You can notice it there a little bit, maybe once we are airborne. You'll be able to see it more clearly, and you'll see also the engines flexing as well, just like you'd expect when you are, you know, in the passenger seat of the 777. All right, there we go. All's looking good here. Looks like there is a small aircraft getting ready to take off right there. I hope it doesn't take very long because we want to go. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. I'm just going to take the other route to the runway, just in case this guy wants to take his own time. All right, let's turn on our landing lights. Runway turn-off lights. Strobes. And here's the whole short point for runway 34 right. We are already cleared for takeoff.
Approaching 34 right.
And there is your runway awareness advisory system kicking in, which is kind of standard on the 777.
On runway 34 right.
All right, ladies and gents, we are cleared for takeoff, and let's go. Toga. Listen to those engine sounds. Rotate. Positive rate of climb, and gear is going up. Alright, let's not get too carried away with those views, but I tell you guys, it looks just gorgeous. Alright, we are at 1,000 feet, so we're good here. Autopilot is engaged. Flaps up. And after takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist, please.
Flaps up. Checklist complete.
There you can see the wing flex there with the engines flexing as well. Very, very nice. Yeah. I think these are the little details that makes this aircraft one of the best for X-Plane 12. And you can see the wing flex there, very, very nicely done by Flight Factor. The sounds are impeccable. The wing flex and the engine flexing as well is just so very well done. All right. Let's take a look here. We are making the turn through 7,000. All is looking good. We make our turn. Right, 8,000. I was going to use AutoOrtho today for the flight, but I came in a little late from work, and just that, you know, I was trying to set things up, and I messed a few things up in my setup, so I said, all right, we'll make it for the next flight. All right, 900,000, landing lights off. Runway turn off, lights off. And taxi lights off. Right, so everything here is good. And we continue the climb now through 10,000 for 39,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude for this flight this evening. Wycliffe Barrett, welcome aboard. Hello, Streamline, welcome. For the 777-200, actually uses the General Electric 9090B, which means that it has 90,000 foot-pounds of thrust, or pounds of thrust. Fun fact is that it's actually larger than the GE90 on the 777-300ER. Oh, really? Ah, it's good to know. Here we are again in the passenger view of those beautiful engines, and look at the details on the wing, the streaks there on the wings. Very, very nice artwork from the guys over at Flight Factor. A little piece of information for you guys, maybe in terms of the latest and greatest in terms of the world of hardware. My very good friend, the Sim Hanger, has gotten the new 5 Series card, and he's done a video on it showcasing its performance in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. If you guys are interested, head over to the Sim Hanger. Mark is a great guy. He's a really a very close friend of the channel and me personally, and he's really created a name for himself, and he's an asset to the flight sim community. All things hardware, setup of 3 monitors, virtual reality. He's the guy. He's the to-go guy, as far as I'm concerned. I love watching his content. So do visit his channel if you're interested in the 5090 series graphics card from NVIDIA. Very, very interesting results. Which, by the way, after watching his video, I don't think that I will be making the investment now in the 5090 because the performance gain in Microsoft Flight Sim and in X-Plane is not really all that much for considering that I'm running a 2K monitor. So there we go. All right, 17,400. We are approaching the transition altitude. So let's set the Barrow to standard on both the first officer side and the captain's side. And this is on auto, so the seatbelt signs is already off for our passengers. And we'll continue the climb to 39,000 feet. Lots of issues with the 1590 now on release. I can imagine, yes. Said is asking, how's your X-Plane running so smooth? I have a powerful PC and I can't get it like that. Well, for one, I'm using X-Camera. X-Camera smoothens things out in the cockpit. The second thing is you'll notice that I have 66 frames natively, but I'm getting 136 now, 131, because I'm using lossless scaling. which is the best thing since sliced bread. Absolute must-have if you are, if you fly X-plane. The Flying Scotsman is in the house, ladies and gents. One of the X-plane dedicated content creators. Welcome, the Flying Scotsman. Always a pleasure to have you on stream. That being said, 60 FPS is already wonderful. Yes, it is. I'm saving up for a mini nuclear reactor for when I get the 1990 Ti Super. 60 FPS is going to be good enough, but the reason I have decided to use lossless scaling for this flight is that when I arrive into San Francisco with the flight factor, we will drop down to 40, sometimes 35 frames, and that it might cause a little bit of jittering. But with lossless scaling, it is an absolutely smooth experience. It is something I highly recommend, guys. Very, very... it's a very, very cheap software, so in terms of value for the buck, I cannot recommend it enough. It is an absolute must-have. By the way, it works for Microsoft Flight Sim as well. So if you have Microsoft Flight Sim and you do not have a frame generation, you don't want to fiddle around with the frame gen mod, and you don't have a graphics card that is frame generation capable, then lossless scaling works perfectly on Microsoft Flight Sim as well. I had to delete X-Plane 12, sadly. Oh, that is very sad. Is the auto land realized? You know what? I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't tried the auto land on the flight factor yet. I'm buying X-Plane 12 any day now, and you're already making me want to buy lossless scaling. Well, it works. It works exactly as advertised, and the latest version, the LSFG, I believe version 3, has resolved all of the issues that were originally reported from the community when using lossless scaling. So it's definitely in a very good shape right now. Highly recommend it if you fly in X-plane. All right, so everything here is good, and we continue the climb. Here's another look for you guys. Here's a nice wing view overlooking the mountains as we fly over Seattle en route to San Francisco. Should be a nice arrival into San Francisco. Runway 28, the runways 28 left and 28 right are just spectacular as you come from the ocean side towards the airport. It makes for a very, very beautiful approach into San Francisco. So, goal lossless scaling basically is a frame generation mod. That's what it is in layman's terms. Pancakes and pickles. Does lossless scaling cause the intermittent lag spike for you? No, it does not. And if you've watched my recent video on optimizing performance for X-Plane 12, I have addressed one issue regarding input lag that people may experience when using lossless scaling, which has to do with your mouse settings. So there's a small tip there for you in that video that you can refer to. Fearless Leopard, welcome aboard. Good evening to you, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Approximate the frames in between the actual frames. So basically what lossless scaling does, it uses AI to add a frame between every 2 frames generated in your sim. So if you go 2x, it will add 2 frames between each one of your frames, thus increasing the number of frames using AI. All right, here we go. Here's a nice turn there with ActiveSky. By the way, one thing I've turned off in ActiveSky was the control, the ice control or snow control, because it was just adding textures there, making things look a little bit you know, weird. But yeah. So a few things have been disabled. Too bad we're not getting any clouds today. I know you guys love the difficult approaches and watch me really sweat as we arrive into our destinations. I think you've enjoyed this thoroughly in our past streams. But hopefully, you know, let's take a quick look at the weather here and see what kind of weather we're expecting. I know the conditions were VFR at San Francisco, but let's take a quick look here at the weather. So 110, 5-knot wind. Yeah, that's, you know, pretty normal. We do have some clouds. A few clouds at 4, scattered at 15, broken at 25, as we can see here. All right, temperature is 9. Oops, quite cold. Yeah. 7,000 feet to go. Got to love a good bit of bad weather. Yes, for sure. Doesn't slow down the video as you would get those frames delayed. No, Felix, you would not get any delay in the frames. As you can see here in all the past streams that I've been using lossless scaling. You can see the counter here. It doesn't slow anything down. Everything works exactly as it should. And here's a look at the outside as well. Everything works exactly as it should. You don't even feel, if it wasn't for this counter, you wouldn't even notice that I have lossless scaling enabled. So very, very well done software. Really, really worth the money. I want to buy the 777 by Flight Factor, but it is beta version. What do you think about the current version? Do VNAV, FMS takeoff page work? Yep. So we have VNAV, LNAV, and VNAV both working. As you can see, they're both enabled. It works pretty well. The takeoff page is there. There are a few things that are not there, but takeoff page is definitely there. So if I go to init, there's your takeoff page right there. So you have all the pages there. Some of the things, if you go to the alternate page, is inop right now. So this has not been done. So if you're flying, if you're doing for example, a cross-Atlantic flight, and you want to use ETOPS, you will not be able to set up ETOPS properly because you cannot enter the alternate airports. So a few things are still being worked at, I believe. By the way, we can come here to the fix page. So this one, for example, works just fine. The fix page. So we're going to add this is one thing I've also noticed. You cannot put KSFO here and then select you have to select the runway. So we're going to put runway 28 left. I think that works. Not in the database. Maybe you need to say R28. So normally you have to say RW to indicate runway, but this one here will work with only 28 left like that to enter the fix for runway 28 left at San Francisco. And if you want to go and be precise here, we're going to come to the runway 28 left. Let's remove that. Where's 28 left? There we go. 28 left. And we are going to, the final approach course is 284. So we're going to enter 284, and 10 nautical miles. And we entered that here. And now we will have our little circle here. So let me just show you very quickly here. And we're going to step through. All right, so if we step through here, you'll see that we have our circle here, which is a 10 nautical mile radius with the runway 28 left in the center of this circle. This is, by the way, not required. It's very useful for situational awareness. So we're going to go back to the legs page, and we'll switch this back to map. There we go. And all is good. Right. So if we go to the cursor here, and we can request coffee.
We need some coffee here.
Now you'll notice that my coffee cup is gone, and the minute you request it, you actually get another one. Now this is a fun detail. This is a detail for some fun. It doesn't really do anything. And we have Megabyte Gaming It's been a member for 2 months. I thank you very much, Megabyte Gaming, for your support of the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. I am, by the way, planning for the channel members. We have a sizable number of channel members, so I will be creating some exclusive content for members, and I will be also making some of the videos released first for members and then released for the general public. So that is my way of saying thank you for the channel members who I know have been supporting the channel endlessly and unconditionally. So thank you very much, guys. Really, everyone, for the support. I truly appreciate it. Glad to be watching this. Just finished my X-Plane 12 PC build. Oh, how cool is that? What do you think about the 757 flight factor and the A350? The A350 is actually not bad, if you ask me. It hasn't really received a lot of love lately from Flight Factor. They have updated the aircraft to where it works in X-Plane 12, in the latest version of X-Plane 12. I wish they would have paid more attention to it, because it is one of the highly complex aircraft. It's got a lot of the systems simulated, and it's a joy to fly that aircraft. But if you were to ask me which one should you get, the Flight Factor 757 or the A350, I would definitely vote for the 757. One of the best aircrafts when it came out. It was one of the best aircraft. Today, the 777 by Flight Factor is by far the very best aircraft that Flight Factor has created over the years, without a doubt. It is the most advanced, sophisticated, and study-level aircraft and representation of the Boeing 777. Q8, do you use HDR when doing flight simulation? No, I don't. Although it is capable and it does look really good, but then for videos, streams, and screenshots, it's just a headache. So no, the answer is no, I don't. Love watching your streams, Q8. Always relaxing and great with questions. My absolute pleasure, sir. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. Dave Cat, 1458. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hello, JV. Welcome aboard. Seeing this plane flying brings back memories of FSX days and the PMDG 777. Here is again a wing view, guys. As you can see, we have some clouds forming in the vicinity here, and we can here take a look here. Look at this here. Again, very nice. Let's do a quick flyby here. The sounds are truly exceptional on this 777. The airport that we're arriving into, the San Francisco version of the airport, is that of it's San Francisco Definitive by short Final, or Mr. X, which is an absolute marvel of an airport. Really very well done airport. When you're going to start doing TCS World, I do not do combat. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't like conflict. I'm a very peaceful guy. Lossless scaling really makes me want to get back into X-Plane. And so you should, my friend. If you're serious about flight sim, nothing beats X-Plane by Laminar Research. Yes, the Q4 XP, or the Dash 8 Q400, is one of the best, yes. And it has received a considerable amount of updates and fixes as well. My first sim was P3D. That brings a lot of memories back when I see the 777 and 747. Yes, P3D, no, mine was FSX. In fact, my very first flight sim was not FSX. I'll take that back. My very first flight sim was a very rudimentary flight simulator on the Amiga 500 by Commodore. That was my first flight sim. It was a very, very basic flight sim. And I remember that it had the cockpit of the aircraft was nothing but a rectangle. It was a gray rectangle, and it had gauges on it, and the horizon was just another blue rectangle. And I was really happy. And I was showing my dad at the time. He says, "Dad, come and let me show you how I fly this aircraft." And it absolutely looked nothing like an aircraft. But there was a horizon and there were gauges, and I was always interested in gauges from a very young age. So that was my very first flight simulator that I've used. I think I was maybe, 8, 9, 10, something like that. I can't really recall. It's been a very, very long time. But I remember that I was very, very young. And my Amiga Commodore, when you bought the Amiga Commodore at the time, it came with 512 kilobytes of RAM. Imagine that. And I had to pay what is the equivalent today of $600 or $700 to get an extra 512K to boost the RAM of my Amiga Commodore to 1 megabyte of RAM. Imagine that. And by the way, the games for the Amiga Commodore, for its time, they were absolutely brilliant. The graphics were just outstanding. Really, really nice. So, yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. I think the most immersion is the Hot Start CL650. It is by far the single most advanced study level aircraft ever created for flight simulation. That I would have to agree with. Oh, Rand, you had the Commodore 64. Oh, wow. Those were the days, man. Of course, my first gaming console was the Atari. So I had the Atari. But before the Atari, I remember my dad got a Texas Instruments computer. Now that Texas Instruments computer was a little bit more advanced, and it had the I think it had the 3.5 and the 5/4 floppy. So, and I remember that when we used to write programs in GW Basic, we used to record the program on a cassette. So just a tape. And you had to actually press play and record to record the program. Those just things were very simple in those days. I started my computer life with a Commodore 64 as well. Oh, how cool is that? You guys, you remind me of my childhood now. So now I feel, I don't feel, as old. So if you guys have used this, then I'm good, Sega Mega Drive was first console. Got so many brilliant memories. Absolutely. Recently, I believe I was at one of the electronics store here in Kuwait. And much to my pleasure, it was a very nostalgic experience when I saw they're actually offering the Atari for sale. Atari was very big in Kuwait at the time. It was it was something that we spent a lot of time playing. It brought the families together. It brought us friends together. We used to organize tournaments in the shopping malls. At the time, they were, very basic shopping malls as well. But we used to, organize the tournaments, and we used to go and play. Atari was really, really big, and now they brought it again. So kind of like very, very nostalgic when I saw the Atari, and the joystick of the Atari is very unique at how it's designed. It was very uncomfortable, by the way, joystick to play with, but it had the red button, and I remember, in some games you used to just go crazy on that red button. Those days were very simple. They were really nice. I'm very fond of these memories. Then straight to the 8086. Oh, cool. My first was the Amstrad CPC64 with color monitor. Oh, cool. No, it would be really, really cool if, you know, any of you guys actually still kept, you know, these computers. It would be really cool to, you know, to make a video on those computers with both 5/4 and 3.5 inch. Yeah, Alex, that's what I had on the Texas Instrument, and it had actually something called a speech synthesizer, and it was, I think, the first attempt by Texas Instruments at the time to try and simulate human speech. So it was very advanced for its time, but by today's standards, it was very rudimentary. And I remember we used to type things to make it, you know, speak, and it actually did speak. It did, you know, speak the English language very, very well. So it was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah. All right, so here is our 777, our magnificent 777 by Flight Factor. As we continue our way to San Francisco, let's take a quick look at our flight here. All right, so we are at 39,000 feet. If we go to the progress page, where are we? About 482 nautical miles from San Francisco. So we're still quite away from our destination. Let me switch to this view, maybe that here. Actually, I think I like this one a little better. Yeah, let's leave it there for a little while. We'll enjoy the view here from the passenger window. By the way, this aircraft has a very, very nice passenger cabin. Let me just show you guys real quick here, for those of you who haven't seen it. So here is your the passenger cabin in all the classes modeled, and you can totally change the configuration to your liking. You can see we have the economy class here, we have the business class here, and I believe we have first class as well. So this is still business class, and this is here the first class. I think this configuration is like the Emirates configuration. On their shorter hops, I think they'd have this configuration. So you've got all the classes modeled. And if you want, I like what they've done here. If you want, you can always go to, let me just show you very quickly here. If you go to your, to the menu here, and we go to simulation, is it? And you go to the cabin configuration. Unfortunately, we are now flying. So when the aircraft is on the ground, you can always click on the cabin and the cargo hold configurations, and you can change everything on the fly, which is very, very cool. It just really is an aircraft that is very well built with a very, very feature-intensive electronic flight bag. It gives you access to everything. You have, by the way, situations here as well. So you can load, for example, if the aircraft, if the sim basically crashes, you can always come here and load it up again. There are some training positions as well. You've got, of course, your terminal charts there from Navigraph, integration with Navigraph charts, which is pretty cool. You've got your performance here, which you can also set from within the electronic flight bag if you don't want to use the the FMC, or just, you don't want to go the shortcut and you want to go through the full process of calculating your performance data. You can definitely do that. So all in all, really this is a very, very immersive aircraft. I do like it a lot, and there was an announcement from Flight Factor about the new engine variants, and why they were explaining in that announcement why they are going to charge for the different engine variants. In fact, they are going to charge once for the engine variants. The reason being is that, according to Flight Factor, is that they are not just doing a 3D, but they are actually the engine to exact specifications as per the real engine. So the performance, the sounds are going to be an exact match to the real aircraft. And so they are going to charge a small fee in order to basically make up for the effort and the hours of work that they're going to put into developing the different engine variants. But once you buy the package, all the future engine variants that they will develop for the 777 will be provided free of charge. They have also announced that they will be making their paint kit available for those livery creators, and so they're going to get their brushes ready now to start painting those beautiful liveries. Flight Factor in the past have made the paint kit locked for some reason, and they sold additional liveries through the org store. I always thought this practice was a little strange from Flight Factor, especially when their aircraft does cost, a significant amount of money. Quite justifiable what they're asking for in terms of the money, but then if I'm investing in the aircraft, make the paint kit available for the community and let us enjoy it. So that's my take on it, and they said, yeah, guys, we've heard you loud and clear, and we're going to make the paint kit available. So I'm quite happy about that. Let's see here. There's a lot of different associated with yep, for sure. If you had to guess, when are the Pratt & Whitney engines going to release? I have no clue. Another issue in X-Plane is that it does not support N3 and need to be done with external engine simulation. Oh, the paint kit is already out. Thanks very much, Alex. Appreciate that. The Sun and the Night. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Lossless Scaling website is dead. Is it? How can it be dead? It's available on Steam, Dave Cap. Dada TBDF. How are you? For the past year, I've been striving to make my X-Plane look better, but I can never get it right. It would be extremely... you make a video providing all mods you use in order to make your game look so phenomenal. I don't use any of this stuff that you mentioned there, Dada. In all my previous stream, I have used nothing at all. But I explained to you in my recent X-Plane performance boost video, the settings guide for 2025, why does my sim look very sharp and looks very good? It has to do with my NVIDIA control panel settings as well as the in-game settings that I use. I explained this in great detail in my recent video. Now, in this specific stream, for the very first time, I'm using a mod by our very good friend, Drashal Mac. It's a night mod. Maybe I'll show you the night mod once we arrive into San Francisco. I'll show you what the mod does, and I will be making a video on it as well. But I use nothing else. There is nothing else that I use for visual enhancements. I've used many of those in the past, but I feel that this version of X-Plane is just great. It doesn't really need anything. So I am not really using anything at all in terms of enhancements, visual enhancements. So yeah. Right, here's a nice look there of the beautiful engines. I just checked, the paintwork was released a few days ago. Perfect, Alex. Thank you for that. Skyhawk, November 737, your recent video regarding X-Plane 12 settings was amazing. I'm glad that it worked out for you and that it was helpful. And thanks for sharing your experience with us here on chat. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. It's same with the Fearless 747. Cannot make RR because X-Plane doesn't simulate N3. Ah, I see. Okay, got you. Now I see where you're referring to. Is it Zumtu? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. My first message here. I love your channel. Thanks a lot for your content. Well, thank you, sir, for your support and your kind words. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Really, that's impressive. I indeed have watched your latest video, which helped a ton. Thanks. Never realized X-Plane looked this good without mods. Yes, X-Plane looks perfect without mods now. Thanks to the relentless dedication and work by Laminar Research, a very small but very capable team, and I really have a lot of respect for the guys over at Laminar, all of them, the developers, Julian Lockwood was here earlier on stream as well. Julian is a very good friend of mine. He's responsible for the Scenery Gateway, and those guys are just really a small family of developers, and they have created a great flight sim over the years, and they continue to develop and innovate for X-Plane. Though they're very small, they definitely do not have the capabilities of a larger gaming studio such as Sobo, but they never fail to impress. That I have to give them. All right. If we look here, we are about 399 nautical miles now from San Francisco. A bit of a longer flight.
Almost at 2 years.
Almost 2 years. 23 months of support from Alex. Alex, thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your support and your friendship, sir. Thank you. Euro Texan totally agree. The past year for X-Plane 12 has been outstanding. The sim's really breaking into a new year. Absolutely. Thank you very much, really, Alex. Really, really appreciate it, sir. All right. So, all was looking good here. All is looking good there. We have no issues there. Okay. Here's another cinematic flyby. I wonder if we disable the camera. So if I go here to X camera and disable it, and we're going to go to view, G internal view. So now we have the physics-based camera enabled. Now you'll notice that the movement of the mouse is a little bit jittery. So without X camera, yeah, it looks like there is no turbulence here. I just wanted to check and see if we get any turbulence. So yeah, if you enable, unfortunately, X camera, then you lose the physics-based camera of X-Plane, the native one. After the latest update from X-Plane, from Laminar, the latest beta, it kind of stopped working. So, hey Q8, are you using any scenery mods? No, not in this video or in this stream. Beg your pardon. Flopo Q8, let's see here. Can you please explain what it means to be a member and offer support? Oh, well, Skyhawk, the membership is you can click on the member icon. If you click on the join, you'll be able to see what are the perks that you'll get as a member. Now, there isn't really much that I have been doing, to be very honest with you. I am planning to add a little bit more for members, like videos that will initially release for members before they go to the public, so kind of get a sneak peek before everyone else. You can use some emojis in chat that are exclusive to members, and it's your way of supporting the channel. And oh, Alex just gifted 5 Q8 pilot membership. Thank you so much, Alex, for your generosity. Thank you, guys. If you've received a membership from Alex, please be sure to say thank you. That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. You're awesome. You are just awesome. So, yeah, so right now, really, there isn't really much in terms of what the memberships offer you guys. It's just, you know, really supporting the channel, but I definitely plan on bringing a lot more members-only content in the very, very near future. I think it's time for me to reward you guys. Again, you've given me special support, so I have to kind of give you special service. So that's the Kuwait pilot promise there for you. No worries, Skyhawk. No worries at all. Thank you very much for being here. You support me just by being here, by the way. So I understand that not everyone can support in in monetary terms, but believe me, sir, just you being here is enough support for me. I'm very happy to have you here, and I love the fact that you're interacting with us, talking to us, sharing your experience, asking questions. This is what makes the stream a fun stream. It makes all of us engage together and have fun, and that's the name of the game, really. So thank you very much, sir, for your support. I appreciate it. Do you have the Phoenix A319 and A321? Is it worth the upgrade? Well, Boeing Corp might. I do have, obviously, the A320, and unless you have a specific affinity to the A321 and A319, I really don't see why you would get them. They have very different performance data, by the way, so the takeoff speeds, the takeoff weight, the zero fuel weight, the performance, takeoff, climb, thrust, all of that stuff is very different in those three variants. But essentially, it's just like the A320. So unless you have a specific route that you want to fly realistically on the A319 or A321, I don't really personally see any additional value in getting the rest of the suite. I do have the A320. I'm very happy with it. One of the best Airbuses I've flown in flight sim. But will I get the A319 and 21? I very much doubt that. I don't think it offers much value over the A320, unless, like I said, you have a special affinity for, with one of those specific variants. There you go. That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, A319 is more like a sports car, and the A320 more like a sedan. There you go. Will you be willing to do a tutorial video on how to properly de-ice and remove snow from the 777? Yeah, for sure. No worries at all. This is a fun stream, I will tell you. I'm a real world pilot, but without your support of the X-Plane community, I would be completely lost regarding setting up my flight simulator. Oh, welcome. We have a real world pilot with us here. Welcome aboard, my friend. And I am very humbled to have just read your message here. Thank you very much. I am very grateful for this, and I hope that I can continue to support the flight sim community for many years to come, as long as I'm able. I will continue to support you guys. That you can bet on. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate it. I think you will have a lot of fun talking to Carl Childers, who's a moderator here on the channel and a good friend. He's type rated on a number of aircraft, so I think the two of you will have a lot of fun. So a lot of you guys have been asking me about my plans for FS Expo. Unfortunately, this year I will not be heading to FS Expo 2025 in Rhode Island, and I will not be a sponsor this year. It's very unfortunate. I feel a little down about that. But I have other priorities for my daughter, actually two of my daughters who are studying abroad. They just started college. So that has really put in some, financial commitments on my side, which rendered me unable to make the sponsorships to the FS Expo this year. but hopefully we can do something next year. I was really, you know, I was really feeling down a little bit about that, because I know that a lot of folks kind of, you know, they were depending on me for, you know, for doing that, for bringing the Content Creator Lounge once again to Flight Sim Expo. Unfortunately, I will not be able to do it, but I believe that Evan from Flight Sim Expo he said that he was going to try to figure out a way to do it, and I hope that he is successful in doing it. But yeah, it's not. There's no FS Expo for me this year. College, yeah, I know about that. I'm sure you do, Red. All right, so let's take a quick look here. Let's see where we are. 320. All right, so we're getting pretty close now. Descent in 153 nautical miles, so we're now getting close to San Francisco, and it's going to be a nice day into San Francisco with some clouds in the vicinity as we arrive. You can see here. By the way, this is right here for you. This is default X-plane. Now I will tell you this. This doesn't look. I cannot say that this looks gorgeous. All right. I can't say that it looks very realistic, but I can say that it doesn't look bad, and it does look very plausible. So flying over this part of the world in the United States, you expect to see these mountains. You see there's a river there going down between the mountains here, and this is what X-Plane or Laminar calls a plausible world. And I recall when I first purchased my very first copy of X-Plane, it was X-Plane 10.29, was the first version of X-Plane that I've used many, many years ago. And when in X-Plane for the very first time, I was really, really upset because what would you do when you first, get into a simulator? You go to your home airport. That's the first thing you'll do. And then, you'll get really disappointed that your home airport is not modeled or is not modeled correctly. And then I started reading about X-Plane to understand what is their philosophy of rendering the world. And they use something called the plausible world. So they do have some data that tells them that, for example, this part of the world is mountainous. And so they'll render mountains in that area. This area has water. This has, by the way, improved a lot over the years. So their plausible world has become more plausible with years. And of course, now you have a lot of meshes that you can purchase. There are many free meshes as well that will explain, will correct the data of various parts of the world, and a lot of realism in terms of the VFR points of interest and so on and so forth. But I remember I wrote a very harsh review of X-Plane 10.29 at the time on Amazon, because that's where I actually bought the DVDs from. And I went on and on ranting about how I was really disappointed with their plausible world, because their plausible world isn't plausible. And I still remember writing that. And someone actually came to that message or that review on Amazon, and he said, give X-Plane another try. Try these mods. And he said, he listed a few mods, and he said, give them a try. You will actually come to enjoy it. And that's exactly what I've done. And I was quite happy with the results after having, upgraded with.
Hello, Captain.
Hey, Benny, member for 38 months. Can you believe that? Well, welcome, Benny. Thank you very much, sir, for the support. Really, really appreciate it. You're a champion, Benny. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. I was blown away with 11 when I first got it on my PC. It was terrible, but I played that thing for 4 years and loved every minute of it. Absolutely. 3 years and 2 months. That's a very long time. Really appreciate the support, Benny. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I was one of the very critical people of X-Plane, but once I tried it and once I looked at the X-Plane community and all the free add-ons, airports, aircraft that you can use, it really grew on me, and I started thinking of issues that I started encountering as I started setting up my flight simulator, and I started sharing those experiences with the community, with you guys through the YouTube channel. And that's how actually this YouTube channel came about. It came about from my passion for sharing the knowledge with the community. So every time I encountered a problem and I fixed it, I used to search, first of all, for a solution. Sometimes I couldn't find one. And those were the moments where I felt like, I wonder, how many other folks are having the same problem. You know what? Make a video. Maybe there are other people who are just having exactly the same issue and I can help them. And that's how I started really with the videos. And I recall that the quality of the audio was absolutely terrible. And I don't know how many mics I've purchased over the years until finally I got this Elgato mic that I really, really like. I think it's one of the best investments I made in the hardware and setup for my streaming. Missed the start. No worries at all, Dame Trader. Welcome aboard. Hello there, Duvas. Welcome. I shared your initial XP experience. At first, hated it. After the second try and digging deeper in the community, I loved it. Yep. X-Plane really kept the flight simulation alive after Microsoft abandoned us in the past. That is very, very true. That is very true. I was there when they did that. It was a huge internal fight. Yes, indeed. Indeed. I had just helped with the FA-18 model. They did... Oh, how cool is that? That's very cool. I didn't know that. I see every time, Carl, you're on stream, I learned something new. So that's pretty cool. Right, let's take a quick look here. TD in 100 nautical miles, so we are going to begin our descent to San Francisco shortly. Let's go to the init page here, and we are going to set flaps of 30. But before we set any wind setup here, let me just take a quick look. We still have 5 knot tailwind. So I'm just going to leave this at 120. So 30 and 128. We don't want what happened to the Emirates flights in Dubai to repeat with us here in San Francisco. So I'm just going to leave it there. So already we have 5 tailwinds. So if we add this, that's 132. So that's fine. All right, so we've got that there. If we go to the nav radio, we already have the ILS frequency there picked up and set. And we are ready to begin the descent. Let's take a quick look at the platform altitude here. So it's 1,800 feet. I'm going to go ahead and reset now the MCP altitude to 1,800 feet. Right, so that's 2,000 and that's 18,000. So now we can begin the descent once the aircraft is at the top of the descent point. Some nice clouds as we make it towards San Francisco. Should be an interesting approach. Just really lovely looking aircraft. Really, really nice. Look at the details there on the textures. Very, very nice indeed. I was there nearly 13 years ago. Oh! No, I think that was the stream. There was a bit of a stutter there, you're right. But there was only a single stutter. If you were still getting stutters, then it's probably something on your side. The reflections are very well done, yes. Q8 pilot, how are you doing? Were you discussing the Phoenix Airbus models? Yes, that's correct, Orca Airways, and welcome aboard. Audio chopping. That... I don't think that's something on my side, though. Anyone else experiencing chopping of the audio? I have a perfectly healthy stream. I can hear everything through my... Where are you saying the audio? Oh, really? Audio video chopping? A little of it sometimes, huh? Some are not. Yes, we had audio chopping too, but gone now. All right, perfect. I did a few minutes ago. Perfect for me in New York. Well, it's all right for me here as well. So I actually watch the stream while it's streaming. So I actually see it on my other screen, but I have the audio through my headsets. So can't get without fiber. Yeah. Well, if you guys get the chopping, just let me know so I can figure out, you know, what's going on. Is it from my side or your side? Right now, everything's very smooth here on my side, so there's no stuttering whatsoever, no chopping. Everything's just butter smooth on my side. And while I watch it on my other screen, here everything looks just perfect. So just let me know if you experience any of these issues. Q8, for more accurate VREF 30 speed in a Boeing, you would add together the zero fuel from the perf end plus the arrival fuel from the progress page. Huh. So, do you mean that you add the weight? Oh, you mean for the gross weight? Cabin call. All right, what does the cabin want here?
I am all ears.
Sir, should I bring you some coffee?
No.
Not at the moment.
Will do, as you ask.
Well, now they want to volunteer and give us some coffee because the coffee I have here is probably pretty cold now. Gross weight field in the approach ref page. Yeah, this one here I think is what you're referring to. So you're saying that we should add, we should add that with the whatever we see in the progress page. So the progress is, so we have this here. So we have to add this fuel here to whatever we see in the progress page. Is that what you're... I'll look into this for our next stream for sure. But thank you for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate it. Right, you can see here that we're going to begin the descent towards San Francisco. This is the top of descent. This is the itchy transition. So we're going to begin the descent shortly. And the real 777 jet is so amazing. Yes, it is. There is currently a lack of wind data and inaccurate fuel forecast. I see. Zero fuel, no, the zero fuel perf end page plus the landing fuel from the progress page equals landing weight. The landing weight is then added onto the gross weight field in the approach reference. Oh, got you. Zero fuel plus the landing fuel progress page. All right, so if we go to the zero fuel, we go to perf. So zero fuel is 381. And if we go to the progress page, 301, 301. And so what do you add? 301 with 17, 301, so 318. I need to figure this out. So yeah, plus plus 16, 17.6. All right, so here, if you go to 17.5 is what we have here, and so you'd add here 417, or is it 317? Is it the 300 plus 31? So it becomes 317. So in the progress page, we have the fuel at San Francisco at 17.5. All right. And in the init perf, we have the zero fuel set at, where is it? Int perf, sorry. So that's 381. So 381 plus the 17.5. Yeah, zero fuel plus landing fuel. Okay, so 381, 391, 391, and 391, 398, 398.8, 399.3. All right, so what does it say there? I think that's pretty accurate. 399.3. I think that's very, very close to the number that we've just calculated. So, yeah, I don't think there's much that big of a difference between what we see here and what we just calculated. So, yeah. Right, here's stop descent. No, sir, it's current fuel in kilograms minus expected landing fuel in kilograms. That is reduced from current weight. Ah, I see. All right, I'll check this out afterwards. VSkyCheck, maybe you can explain to me on the Discord, just so that for the next stream, you know, we'll explain it to everyone. It's just hard to follow in chat. But shortly, we'll be able to, it won't affect the performance too much, so I think we're good here. CPDLC isn't implemented yet in America. However, you can get PDC via VHF from A-cars. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, you must log on to, yeah. For oceanic clearance, yes. Now, for oceanic clearance, I believe they need this little. Is this the SoCal code or so? This is what FFST. I think it's normally here. I think that's where it's. There's a little plate normally. I think this is where it is, and this is the plate that they normally get from you. All right, so we have begun the descent now towards San Francisco, folks. And we should arrive momentarily into our destination. And let's see here if we can go to PA and cruise delay. No, there's nothing for descent, so that's fine. All right, so cabin in, we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it on the cursor. Let's see, there's landing there. All right, we don't need anything, that's okay. All right, so we're out of 39,000 for 1,800. We're looking good now, and we have now begun the descent towards San Francisco. The last CTBC VLTC failed miserably, totally overloaded. Let's see. I have a friend that did the flight test for the 777. He stalled it. Ooh! There was when I was in the States in 2017, I was attending a course with the University of California at Los Angeles, or UCLA, and there one of the instructors was a guy by the name of Dana Scannell. And, you know, we were talking about airplanes, and it turns out that this guy was a type rated on the 777. So it was very, very interesting talking to him about the 777 and a lot of the things that we miss in flight simulation, or things that, you know, we don't do right. But it was equally interesting to hear how some of the, you know, aspects of flight simulation are so accurate. And so Dana had to fly in a simulator every so I think there was a period of time, I think 3 months, he said, or something like that, that in order to keep his type rating, he had to actually fly in the simulator to make sure that his license remains active. And very, very interesting that a lot of the things that happen in the simulator, you know, we've experienced in the home sim, in the home cockpit. All right, so it wants me to, looks like drag is required. So let's bring up the speed brakes and reduce the speed here a little bit. Speed extended. All right. There we go. Okay, and we continue the descent now towards San Francisco. You should consider a info banner departure arrival ETA speed ALTS. Dave Cart, it is available. I do have it. If you guys want me to do it, I am more than happy to do that. But in previous streams, a lot of people have voted for not having such not having such a strip here that shows the flight information, or the flight overlay, if you will. I do have it through Volanta. I use it, and through SimToolkit Pro, both. If you guys want this, absolutely, it is my pleasure to do anything you guys want. So I'm more than happy to do it if you guys want me to have that. What do you guys think? If you guys can tell me yes, overlay, or no overlay, I'll be more than happy to do whatever you guys like, for sure. Folks have said, yeah, they like the visibility of not having it. That's right. That's what I recall. And for those reasons, I've removed the flight overlay. So for camera vibration, you have the option of using either XP Realistic, which is right here, this one here. It has a ton of features there for vibrations, for simulation of G-forces. But now X-Plane offers this natively with their physics-based camera. You need to disable X camera in order to use it. But if you go to the view here, you see this G-loaded camera, internal views, shift control G. This is something I've set up, by the way. Control shift is. You can have this for the internal view. It works pretty well, at least for general aviation aircraft at this point. I think it still needs fine-tuning and it needs some improvements, but overall, I think it's a very, very brilliant feature that is built now natively in X-Plane. I was doing a flight in the default Cessna 172 by Laminar with the G-loaded camera enabled, and it is very, very good. Very well done, especially when there is slight turbulence. So simulated wind shear, and flew through that with the camera, and it's just very, very immersive having this new physics. So yeah, no banner for me. Yeah, I don't really care. No overlay. All right, that's what I thought, guys. I thought that you guys didn't want it. The majority of you guys do not like to have the overlay because it just clutters the screen, and this way, you know, you're able to see everything. So, and here is a nice view for you guys with all those clouds as we fly between two layers of cloud, as you can see here. makes for a very interesting visual scene here as we arrive into San Francisco. God, I love the 777. Just very, very beautiful aircraft. And those engines are just massive. Look at that. The G camera feels over the top in airliners. Yeah, it feels a little bit overdone, especially when you come into land. But nonetheless, you do have it now. It's quite nice for GA aircraft, without a doubt. And I'm very, very sure that Laminar Research would continue the development of this physical. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Q8 Pilot, is the FMC menu page functional? FMC menu page functional of this aircraft. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're looking for, but you have all the pages here. Oh, the FMC COM, you mean? No, that's INOP. That's not working. So this one is INOP. The alternate page is also INOP. The holds are there. Let's see, the fixed page is there. Everything's there. So VNAV page is there as well. The only thing that's those two, the alternate and the FMC COM. Those are not modeled yet. Ooh.
Okay, amigo, keep the good streaming. If one day is possible cockpit sharing with FF, we would flight/stream and show how we operate in real life the 77F.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I'm very happy to do that. Any time of the day, keep up the good stream. Thank you very much for coming in with $10 super chat there. 777 guy says, good streaming. If one day is possible cockpit sharing with Flight Factor, we would fly, stream, and show how we operate in the real life in the 777. Well, 777 guy, I would invite you to come and join me in any of the upcoming streams of the 777. We can definitely arrange you having come in on stream and chat live with me through Discord, so you'll be able to speak with me, guide me through the flight, and folks will definitely love to hear from a real-world 777 pilot. Thank you very much for the support and for being here, and for the $10 super chat. Thank you very, very much. That's very, very kind of you, sir. God, I love this community. Very, very kind. Menu page in the FMC has an EFIS control panel key. I just want to see if it's modeled. All right, so menu page in the FNC. All right, so the menu page. Let's go to the menu page. All right, so it's got an EFIS here. Yes, it is there, if that's what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for here. So this is currently display control, maintenance info display are all there. Let's click here. See, this one doesn't do anything. This one does, and does work. EFIS control, and you can come here and yeah, you've got that, all of that model. So yeah, you do have it there, and now you can see all the displays here. Display selection, print selection, and you can show all of this information. So you definitely do have that. Alright, let me go back to menu, and we're going to turn that off. But yeah, you can, it's the air conditioning system. You have all the information here. So show the page, cancel the page, record the page. All of that information is there. I don't know how to go back now. Main menu. Let's see, erase selection. Data link selection. I don't know how to go back now. Post a screenshot of this conversation on the FF Discord. So I've selected that on, and now I don't know what to do. That's an alternative way to set up the approach minimums. However, the rest of the functions in the EFIS page should only be used in the abnormal scenario. Gotcha. Maintenance info key once more. Maintenance info key. Ah, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You guys are lifesavers. Ooh, we passed the transition altitude. What is the current? You guys are just lifesavers. 2990. All right, let's do that. 29990. 2990. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing here. 29990. All right, that is set. Perfect. And we need also to check the minimums. So let's see here. Decision height is 200. So that's already set. 200 is set. Okay, perfect. Let's reduce 40. We can see now where we are relative to the runway. And once, yeah, we'll take the, I believe we selected the Archie transition. So vectors to Archie. And there we go. Look at that. Yeah, pretty close now to San Francisco. I believe that is the Golden Bridge, isn't it? Or is it that one? I'm not sure if it's this one. Or this one? Not sure. Oh, don't do this. Now there is some choppiness there. Keyframe frequency second or less keyframes. The stream health seems to... Benjamin George Jr.
Streaming. It helps knowing the input you help W with the case community. It's well valued.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Thank you very much for coming in with $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm getting a message here that the stream, please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are, I don't know what. They're just, that's the message I'm getting. Are you guys still able to see this? Yeah, the Golden Gate. I'm getting this message here on YouTube that there is a problem with the streaming. So I hope that I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, we can. It's starting on and off for me. Is it something now and then? Just it's just audio glitching for me. Pixelation and stuttering. Yeah, I can see that there is a problem here. All right, let me guys just try one thing here. Let me pause the sim, and I don't want to end the stream, but I just want to. I don't know if that's going to end the stream. I'm afraid to, yeah, do that at this point. But it's very brief. Okay. Yeah, it is giving me an error here. So I don't know what's going on. All right, now it says okay. Now, all right, so we're back to an excellent connection. Okay, so it looks like it's an intermittent. Something maybe to do with my connection. You're getting some tilling as it refreshed the display. Yeah, I think it's all right now. At least for the landing, you know, we've waited all this time. I don't want it to start jittering now before we land. Yeah, still not bad considering you are on the other side of our wonderful planet. Well, thank you very much. I am doing the stream here as well, which is now looking okay. Let me check here a little quick. Stream health? Yeah, stream is healthy, and the stream status says excellent. I do have... all right, so There is a restriction, it looks like, here at 11,000. Back here, yeah, there is definitely that. And then we're going to start reducing. This is Archie. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is we are going to fly direct to Archie. This is the vectors to Archie. So from here, I'm going to select, let me clear that. All right. So let's select Archie, and we're going to select Archie here and say execute. And now we're going to fly direct to Archie. And I'm not sure why now it wants to go back to 280. Well, it's all right. That's all right. We can still manage to reduce the speed. And then from Archie, we're going to go to Punky. You can see the drawing there is not correct, so that's something Flight Factor needs to work on. But yeah, all right. So everything else looking good here as we approach San Francisco. And let's put this back here on 20 nautical miles as we fly towards the approach. You can see that we are at 10,000, so we are going to turn on our landing lights. Runway turn-off lights are on. Everything else is set. Perfect. Tight turn, you need to vector yourself and give more room for the turn. I think we should be fine. We are way outside the 10 nautical mile ring, so I think the aircraft will have sufficient time to make the turn and you know, come back here to intercept the ILS, so we should be fine. Still chops, but never mind. Really? For me, there are no chopping whatsoever here on my side as I watch the stream on another monitor. What's the fixed info circle referring to 10 miles? I'm just curious. Oh, Oracle Airways. So this is actually something that you create for situational awareness. It is a 10, the runway is exactly in the center of this circle. So the beginning of this circle, when you are at the very beginning of this circle, you are exactly 10 nautical miles away from the runway, which is when you start configuring the aircraft for the approach, lowering your flaps and, you know, gear and things like that. So this is just really for situational awareness, nothing more. Stream is fine now. Thanks, Rand. So it will either do a normal rate or turn or half a rate. I believe that's laid out. Yeah. I think that's probably what this means. Yeah, probably be my bad. But it just looks a bit odd to me that it looks that way. For me, no stuttering right now. Everything's smooth. Perfect. Oh, is it? Not sure how you do that. By the way, this is my in real life aircraft. We normally go gear down, flaps 20 at less than 10 miles, maybe 10 miles or so. Is more conservative. Oh, I see. Oh, this one here. Oh, got you. Got you. So 10 miles, you'd go gear down, and flaps 20. So I think we can go flaps 5 now, though this is still there. So we can start reducing the speed. We'll give it time because we're still away now from that circle. So we're way above 10 nautical miles now from the airport. So we'll just leave it. Let's set the auto brake to 2, and let's arm the speed brakes. There we go. Speed brakes are armed. Here's the turn now towards San Francisco, and we continue the descent. Yeah, you definitely want to reduce the speed. So what we can do is, let's see, this is 240 to 40. Okay, so I can go to VS here, and I reduce the speed to about 160 knots. Actually, let's extend the speed brake. Okay. All right, and we're going to go approach. We can see the glide slope and localizer needles. Localizer captured. I think we still need to bring the speed down a little bit. All right, let's go flaps 5. And then we'll bring this back. There we go. All right. We're looking good now. And we'll do... So right here at the circle, we are going to be 10 nautical miles away from the runway. I'm a bit late for the party today. I apologize. It has been... If this has been brought up, you told me about the 350 stream. Thank you very much, the Flying Scotsman. Appreciate it. Oh, you mean the Inibuilds A350, Brandon? Yeah. Yeah. It's a very, very advanced aircraft, I have to say. I'm very excited about it, for sure. Right, we're looking good. And you can see the localizer needle here. Speed's still not coming down, so you know what? Let me extend the speed brakes again. And bring the aircraft speed down a little bit. Yeah, I saw the plane in front of us, yeah. Okay, that's good enough. Right, there we go. And we can go to manage speed in a little bit. Maybe after we clear, we should be at 4,000. Yeah, I think we're still fine. Looks like there's some rain. I can see something here on the wind. All right. So we skipped some of the checklists, so we didn't do the descent checklist.
Descent checklist.
Recall. Check. Check. Notes. Checked. Auto brake.
Set.
Landing data.
Set. Approach checklist.
Altimeters.
Set. Checklist. Please.
All right, so
Landing
we are
gear
now
down.
approximately 10 nautical miles from the airport. So I'm going to select gear down,
Down.
Flaps. Set.
and we're going to go to flaps 20. Start reducing the speed. That's flaps 20, and we have the runway in sight. – 1,800 feet is the platform altitude. Right, we're looking good. And I believe the speed was 130. What was the speed? Selected 128 with flaps 30. Right, we're going to continue now at flaps 20. Time being, here is 1,800. Right, that's 1,800 feet exactly. And reducing the speed. All right, so now we can see the glide slope needle moving down. And what I'm going to do now is and we're going to reduce the speed momentarily. So that's flap 20. Looking good. And we're going to go to 140. Let's go to 130. And 128. That's 128. Looking good. Speed check. Flaps 25. Glide slope active. You got this, Captain. Alright, alerts are off. Speed check. Flaps full.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Alright. The landing checklist is complete. Why is the plane rocking up and down like that? Alright, so one thing we need to do is I'm going to disarm the auto throttle, and I'll take over here. Alright, there we go. And at 1,000 feet, we will disconnect and manually land the aircraft.
1,000.
Right, 1,000 feet.
Approaching 28 left.
$500. 400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Woo! Wow. That was a pretty rough landing there. Reverse. We were coming a little too fast. And that was a very firm landing. Ouch. Welcome to gents. All right. Lights off. Take a look at the replay of the landing. Runway turnoff lights are off. Strobes are off. And we're going to start the APU. All right. Let me do a quick replay here of our landing. It was definitely a pretty rough landing. Was hoping for something a little smoother. The whole approach, though, you were very stable. Yeah. All right. There we go. Let's take a look. Just really set. Why are the speed brakes deployed like that? Pretty firm. Of course, XP Realistic always exaggerates the effects, but overall, yeah, I think it was a bit of a firm landing. You have got to love X-Plane. Yeah, that was a pretty firm landing. The passengers felt it without doubt. All right, let's do one more with a wing view. Something to do with the replay system there. Pretty enjoyable nonetheless. All right. Very nice rendition of San Francisco International by Short Final. We're going to head over to the Delta terminal right over there. What is this? There we go. And we can retract the flaps. And there's the Delta terminal to our right. Check out those flaps, guys. We could replay again if you like. Yeah, so if you'd like me to do that, I'm more than happy to do it for you. So we can just make it a bit faster.
Caution, taxiway.
All right, here we go. So let's see if it's, yeah, now the speed brakes are not, no longer deployed. Maybe that's a little bit, let's just make this faster here. Oh, look at that boat, guys. All right, there we go. We lost the sounds, though. There we go. Here's another landing replay without the speed brakes. Lost the sounds, gained a boat. Yeah. There we go. Here's another replay for you guys. Very, very hard. Did you notice the wing flex there? Done very, very well. I really like that. Alrighty. Okay. So here is the Delta terminal.
Delta 2525 ground taxi via Papa. What is your gate?
Delta 23.
Delta 2525 Papa, Sierra, November. Enter your gate.
Papa Sierra, November, Delta 25.
All right. Parking brake set. APU gen. Oh, it says APU fault. Well, never mind. Let's go ahead and kill. All right, we're gonna come here to the directory, cabin, ground crew. Yeah, that's what I thought is gonna happen when we kill the engines.
This is the captain. How do you hear?
Good to hear you, sir. The ground personnel is at your service.
Yeah, it's not gonna want to.
We require some equipment.
Make your choice.
Shots.
Of course.
Spirit 410 ground taxi via Papa Charlie Tango to parking.
Papa Charlie, Tango to parking.
Let's see if we can deploy the GPU. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to allow me to do that. Something wrong with the APU there. All right. Well, there isn't much we can do with without the ground crew here, so it's not allowing us to add the to the GPU, but we have made it safely here at San Francisco, though the landing gear will probably require some maintenance before the next departure from San Francisco. But it's been a lot of fun without a way. That's a perfect landing for a saturated runway. Well, thank you, Skyhawk, for that. Appreciate it. At least I know I'm not the only one in this community doing hard landings. We all do it. Speed check on the mic. Thank you very much. You had virtually no bounce. That was a perfect firm landing for a saturated runway. Well, thank you very much, Skyhawk. Again, coming from a real-world pilot, I appreciate that. You can connect to the 3 on the top menu and explain. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Well, anyway, that's all right. I think we're good here. And I thoroughly enjoyed this stream, guys. I really enjoyed you being here in the interaction and all the good stories and all the comments and all the information, everything I've learned from you guys. It's been an absolutely brilliant stream. Really enjoyed it very, very, very much. Thank you very much, guys, for being here this evening. Thank you for the super chats, for the gifted memberships, and for your presence. It makes all the difference to have such a great community with me on stream. It's been a lot of fun. But until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.